What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Let's Play, this time with episode 2. I actually quite enjoyed the first episode, contrary to what I believe is kind of popular opinion. I have seen the ratings are pretty much the lowest rated show I picked up this season, which I was quite surprised at. I thought the premise was quite interesting. It looked pretty good. I like the style of the opening and such, and there wasn't too much that kind of wasn't anything really that stood out to me as like bad or anything about the show, so I was quite surprised to see that, to be honest with you. But yeah, I thought the premise was quite interesting here. We've now got a game developer and her online famous hater, or someone that barely reviewed her game, living next door to her now. So looking forward to seeing what's going to come of this. Of course, he probably doesn't recognize her at all. When you think of, like, I mean, some people, I recognize some like game developers and such, but I don't usually think of their face when I hear like their name. Or in a lot of cases, I haven't even seen the game developer's face. So yeah, I doubt he's got any idea who she is. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And yeah, as I said, I don't really understand why this was like so badly rated. I did have a little look through these last week, and after the episode ended, I probably should have done it while on video, but yeah, I did have a little look through the stats, to be honest. It's a few very specific to the characters. I did initially think that one said Polish. Like, Polish? Why has this guy got a 1 out of 10 Polish rating? Polish. I gotta say, with this stuff, they're quite on the nose, to be honest. They're not playing it very subtle with this. These things kind of clinging onto them, are they? I guess that's my, not even really a negative, but something that does stand out. Ruminate. That's a funny name, that, isn't it? Martial law. Is that not what happens in like wartime? They introduce martial law. I did hear recently the Bowser that works at Nintendo is recently kind of leaving his job, right? Hey. Seems like he's pretty good with animals. I want to attack him, but he's being too nice to me. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if I'd let someone. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd let someone touch my dog like that right off the bat. I know you and your dirty antics online. Oh, only 67. Honestly, that's actually very realistic. A lot of the horror streamers and such I watch, I don't really watch streams, but like playbacks, they either play a lot of horror games or indie games. Sometimes some like mainstream stuff as well, but yeah. You didn't play the game, right? And you were playing it like a loser. Didn't read the T's and C's, bro. So that didn't actually happen. That's kind of sad that didn't actually happen. I have got a question. Considering this guy is so popular, surely he would be very well off, right? Just purely based off the numbers she was saying there. This guy, I think he'd be, yeah, I think he'd have a lot of money. I have got a question, like, this isn't like a worst place to live ever or anything, don't get me wrong, but why is he living here? People like this usually live in like very fancy places, don't they? And what I'm saying is, she can't be too well off being a indie game designer. So that is something that does stand out here of how realistic is it that these guys would be neighbours. And not to say that indie game developers aren't well off. I haven't played these games yet, but I need to. I will just pause for a sec. I've played Nine Souls, which is a game I really like, but that is a similar game to that Silk Song game? I forget. Hollow Knight, that's the one. I haven't actually played Hollow Knight at all, but I think they're quite similar games, Nine Souls and Hollow Knight. And I really did like Nine Souls. I thought that's fantastic. Quite difficult, but once you kind of one of those things when you learn patterns and such, it becomes a lot easier as you go along. But yeah, I need to play those. But that developer probably made a hell of a lot of money. And I imagine he probably started off quite similar to this girl. So I think what we saw in the first episode, game got good reviews until this streamer kind of decided to review it, but it didn't look like it was an absolute money maker. It didn't look like it was massively popular. I think there was like a few hundred reviews, if I remember correctly. So yeah, the question is like, how is that it's either she's living above her means seemingly at this place, or he is. Again, you'd expect, especially streamers, because streamers get a lot of donations. They got. I think there's a lot more money in stream. Like if there was 10,000 viewers on a stream versus 10,000 viewers on your YouTube video, I think you'd make exponentially more on your stream, like a massive amount more. Yeah, I'm not sure how realistic it is that he would be living that right next door to her. Doesn't take you out of the show or anything, but it's a little bit questionable. Roasted it. Flagged? Will they report her or something? You're gonna report someone for creating a game? That's just bullshit. How are you gonna do that? I mean, you can review it however you want. Oh my god, they absolutely ruined it. Holy shit. They absolutely ruined it. The fuck? That was like 8.2 last time we saw, I think, right? So yeah, as I was saying, it's only got 300 reviews, so it's not like massively popular or anything. To be honest with you guys, not really sure who leaves reviews. I've never left a review on a game like this. Wow, they absolutely just like, this happens as well, doesn't it? You see this happen, not massively often, but it's usually when this does happen, it's like correct. It's usually like people cancelling somebody for doing something wrong, and it's usually like, yeah, you know what, they kind of deserve that. In this situation, it's like, damn, you've almost essentially kind of ruined her career before it was even started by doing this. Kind of sucks. And what's suspended? Like, what are they suspending it for? There's something naughty in the game? I don't think we saw anything like that. The guy you destroyed me moved next door. Again, I kind of wish that actually happened. Well, he could have incentivized them not to. Like we all understand that it's he did cause this, right? He didn't say anything like, "Well, you guys try out for yourselves." He just started going in on it. He was like, "Well, why don't you guys play it to see what you think and then review it?" He just left it. So don't get me wrong, it's not exactly his fault, but he didn't do anything to help this situation either, did he? Charles. Plug B guy. Oh, look at you. Master Lank. Indigneer. Oh, that's the site. That is. Again, you look at that and you think, well, I'm never going to play any of these person's games. Like, you should always try out stuff for yourself, but like a rating that low does give you the indication of like it must be absolutely incredible. Holy shit. But there are plenty. Like I think the movie The Thing, is a great example of. Obviously, I wasn't alive at this time, but when it initially came out, it was destroyed by reviewers and critics, I believe. And at the box office, it failed. And now it's looked at as one of John Carpenter's best works, one of the best horror movies ever, and I believe it is. It's one of my favorite horror movies I've ever seen. It's incredible how perception can change. And that might happen with her. Maybe she releases another game, or people actually play this game, and the ratings go back up. Whipple. Grumpy little dog. You rat. Yeah, these things, they're pretty on the nose, aren't they? Like, again, not playing it very subtle whatsoever with that kind of stuff, are they? Well, I mind it too much, but it's just like, you could have maybe thought of something a little bit more subtle there, right? instead of just naming the thing and putting it as the shape of a person. Moving that mouse, bro. War Quest is what we call it, is it? But yeah, I've got a pretty strong like thumb. I think a lot of you guys probably would have if you play a lot of games. Pretty strong like thumb, like muscle, like built up here. You've absolutely caught her now. I've never played World of Warcraft myself, unfortunately. I remember going to buy it when I was like, I think it was like the late 2000s. Where I was like, whoa, that's expensive. Especially for something not physical. I think I was going to buy it online. And at that time, not buying physical games was like, it was a rarity. I don't think I ever bought a non-physical game till like late 2010s. So yeah, I was a bit put off. Like, oh, it's like 60 quid, but not actually physically getting anything. Like, what kind of game is this going to be? It almost felt like a bit like a scam. It's funny how much that's kind of changed. I mean, it still is kind of a scam in a way because you don't actually own anything. Not World of Warcraft per se, but like buying games, not physically. They can actually just take them away at any time they want. And it was actually going okay for a little while there. I'm not sure what to think of this guy. I'm not really a fan of him. But to be honest with you guys, he's very simple. As bad as that sounds. A caveman. I do feel like people like that are like quite good content creators though. Simple and effective. Like they're very easy to understand. Maybe I think that's an issue I have honestly. Sometimes my videos sometimes I'm very bad at explaining things, explaining myself, explaining my thoughts. Whereas this guy is like everything is just like so easy to understand and yeah. Oh no. Ruined the keyboard. I imagine that's very expensive considering her line of work. So unfortunately, I'm just gonna I was gonna assume that everything that happens like that is just not gonna be real. You loud ass neighbor. That's annoying, isn't it? Can you imagine having a streamer as your neighbor? It's shouting all the fucking time. Alerts, all this shit. Like this, like who fucking says that? Oh, that's something. I might read that in the morning. Oh, what's the dog eating? Oh, that can't be good. There was a note there. Okay, I didn't eat any of it. I was going to say, sure, that can't be good for dogs eating ink like that. Ah, okay, okay. Soundproof the place. Good idea. Oh, and he's just incredibly fit as well. Again, the more we get this guy, the more I don't like him. So he's massively popular online. I mean, it's not impossible. We've seen streamers like this before and things, haven't we? You would assume, given the gamer status, it wouldn't look quite like this, though. I assume being a streamer would mean lots of staying indoors. Lots of that's the initial kind of expression you're giving off, isn't it? For most of them, it's like takeaway meals every day, sitting home streaming for like 12 hours, minimal movement, minimal grass time. There's a reason touch grass became a thing. And yeah, like the opposite of this. Eat this guy, Bowser. Fireball him. Something. Kill him. Get him, Bowser. Fucking tight little girls. This is your audience, is it? 10-year-old girls. Also, that girl. Not often you see that in anime. Not often at all. She kind of just looks like a white girl, but black. If you know what I'm saying. Like the only thing black about her is the color of her skin, which I know sounds quite stupid, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say there. See, this might sound bad, but I'd absolutely hate to get to a point in where people would recognize me. I think that'd be so awkward. Really annoying as well, because you can't even tit for tat for him, because if you like negative review his stream or anything, it's literally just like a goldfish in a sea of fucking like sharks, and absolutely no chance of even affecting him. The daily grind. Didn't notice that was the name of this place. That's also pretty cringe. Or perhaps we go about it a different way. Perhaps you don't attack him. Perhaps we actually show him how to play it correctly and then kind of turn the tables that way. And he can change his review. But yeah, at the minute, honestly, this guy's a bit of like, it's almost a personification of IGN. Of how I feel towards how a lot of people feel. What the hell? Oh god. Got this type of streamer here. I am noob. So I've been on YouTube for a long time, not making videos, but when I was a young teenager, there was a big trend. I used to watch a lot of FIFA videos. I used to play a lot of FIFA. I used to watch a lot of FIFA videos. Haven't played or watched any of that stuff in years. But there was a big trend. I think it was during like the early 2010s of the YouTubers just bringing in sexy, big boob, attractive girls in their videos just for the thumbnails to get clicks. and maybe that's what's going on here. I mean, I don't really watch Twitch, but I think there is like sections of Twitch specifically for that type of woman, isn't there? Maybe there's like a collaboration going on between the two. I don't know. But yeah, another decent episode. I have got to say, another thing that has stood out to me as a negative is certainly the side cast / her friends. They are very much just kind of caricatures, aren't they? They're very one note. Not much substance to any of them. For me, anyway. They just kind of feel like they're just like there. They're not really people. Other than that, though, again, pretty good episode. Pretty good episode. I think Bowser was a nice little standout today, wasn't he? Bless him. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, another decent episode. I do think some flaws are kind of starting to come through, as I mentioned there, with the side characters of our friends. Even the main dude here, Martial Law. I think there could be quite an interesting arc go on if it goes how I said a minute ago about like teaching them how to actually play the game, walking them through it maybe. It's kind of like I see some streamers and people that I watch kind of, if they do go into an area that is unknown to them, sometimes they'll get like help with it from someone that is very well acclimatized to it. An example would be Moist Critical. I don't watch too much of him, but he recently done a stream with one of the people I do watch quite a bit of, Bought the Soup, and he got help from him with a Resident Evil game. And I was like, yeah, if you actually kind of let yourself kind of delve into it and be absorbed and get people to help you out with stuff like this, you're inevitably going to enjoy it a lot more, rather than forcefully kind of playing a game how you think it should be played when that is not the correct style. And I've totally done that. Funny enough, a good example of that is Nier Automata. I've recently been playing. I've just finished Route A. I watched the anime and I absolutely loved it, so I picked up the game, and I was just awful at it. Me being egoist Jordan, I started off on the hardest difficulty. Not sure why I done that. You should always, and I always usually do, just play a normal and then increase the difficulty in the second playthrough. But I started out with the hardest difficulty and I just struggled. I wasn't used to playing games like that with just like combos and such. It's not, now that I've played it once through, it's really not complicated combo wise or anything. It's literally just tap the X button 4, 5, 6 times. A lot less complicated than things like Devil May Cry, which I've played since. But yeah, I got a refund on that game because I was like, well, I'm struggling. I can't get through this, and I'm not enjoying it. And it's because my stupidity of trying to play it on the hardest mode. This guy essentially kind of done something similar here, trying to go about it in the wrong way. But yeah. As I said, decent episode. A few flaws starting to come through. I will say the animation does look a little, I'm not sure what the word for it is, not so smooth at times. It feels a bit clunky at times, I will say, but not something that's massively kind of big in this show, considering the premise. There's not too many like action sequences as such going on here, so it's not a massive problem. But yeah, looking forward to episode 2. It's been a pretty decent start so far for me. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode though down in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. I'll see you next week with episode 3.